Hello, everyone. Cyd Notter here, joined today by my friends Anita and Jared Roussel. And they are here with me to talk about the Vegan Health Bundle 2026. It's the 5th anniversary of Chef AJ's bundle. And so we are here today to talk about that and to talk about what Anita and Jared have contributed to the bundle. And by the way, we are recording this, but February 22nd is the last day to sign up for this health bundle, which has over 70 products in it and is worth over $4,600. And you get the whole thing for $49, and we'll talk about that at the end. But today I want to focus on what my friends have contributed to the bundle, 2 really important things, and I'll let them tell you about it. Welcome, Anita and
Thank
Jared.
you.
So good to see you.
Thank you, Cyd.
Excited to be here.
It's so good to be back together, isn't it? And if your
Yeah.
listeners have not heard, they need to hear your episode on our podcast. So just go and type Cyd Notter and listen. Cyd shared gold when she was on our podcast on Power on Plants. So you do not want to miss that. But I'm Anita Roussel, and this is Jared.
I'm Jared Roussel, physician assistant, certified in lifestyle medicine.
And I'm a nurse and an integrative nutrition health coach as well. We're co-founders of Power on Plants. And you know how busy Christian entrepreneurs are constantly struggling with their energy being low, not being able to do all the things they want to do because they have these stacking health struggles that keep stacking up. That's what happened to us when we hit 40. And it kept us from doing all the things we wanted to do. And so we help them to get to the place where they finally can turn their body from their biggest hindrance to their number one asset in their business and life, because we don't just want to grow old. We want to grow well and put a lot of life in our years, not just live a long life, but have life in our years. So that's what we do in a nutshell. And we absolutely love it because we were healthcare professionals, obviously, for so long, even before we started eating whole food, plant-based. And in that time, we were helping people manage their diseases, But when we were sick, we realized, hey, we don't want our diseases managed. We want our diseases gone.
And we thought surely there has to be a better way. But in our training, we didn't learn that. And we thought this is just the way that it is. But I think internally, we just knew that there had to be a better way. And we kept searching, and then we found it. We found that better way.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know that you go through things and sometimes you don't realize, you know how that is? You don't realize until you get to the place where you're facing your own health struggle. And all of a sudden it's this epiphany of, oh my goodness, I try this thing. We start digging, trying to figure out what's going on with our stuff. And all of a sudden we're freed from it. And now we're down the road and we've been able to figure out a system that works to help other people get free. And that's why we're so passionate about this bundle. Because inside this bundle are loads of things that are going to help you get set free from your health struggles where you're thinking, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get out of this situation. And lo and behold, could the answer simply be as simple as what's on your fork or what's not on your fork? You know,
Right. And you don't have to be vegan to sign up for the bundle.
No.
You do not have to be a vegan.
Absolutely not. But if you get what we know in the research, and Jared's huge into research, what we found over the years of just digging and implementing what we've learned and working with thousands of different people, just getting them results, type 2 diabetes gone, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all the things, autoimmune diseases, just things that you've been told are chronic and you're going to have for life, reverse on these foods regularly. And so the more that you can get of them, what we know is even if you don't go all in, you're going to start seeing results. You're going to start seeing the pain ease up, the joint, the inflammation goes down. And so when you hit that root cause, it's the inflammation.
And we've
with
seen
these
people
foods. It's
have
huge.
fantastic results going 80 or 90% plant-based. But what we do know, and we encourage people go 100% because statistically speaking, that's where you see the best. That's where you see the lowest risk of all-cause mortality.
So the more the better.
The more the better.
Just
Right.
add one in the next and the next. And before long, you're going, wow, this is a no-brainer.
Like, wow, I haven't bought meat in 3 months, and I don't miss it. This is amazing.
That's our big thing, right, Cyd? You're about like that too. You want to find the things that you love so that you don't ever dream of cheat days or you don't have to think anymore about the old things. And lo and behold, I was addicted to things and I didn't even know it. Could it be that simple that I was taught I'm dealing with emotional issues and all these things? And sometimes there can be that, but I think a lot of time the blame gets put on us, and it's the foods that by nature have things in them that are addictive. Like I was addicted to dairy. So if I was addicted to dairy and now I can get off of that, stop eating it, all of a sudden I'm not constantly having the food noise. This is what our clients are telling us all the time. I have food noise, Anita. Constantly, I'm eating a meal and I'm dreaming of my next meal. These foods help you to get rid of food noise. What if you could wake up and no longer have that going on and feel like it's just something wrong with me? And that's what we see people get freed of all
And
the
we
time.
had that, and we just thought it was normal.
Wow.
We
We
did.
would just finish lunch.
Yeah.
Hey, what do we want for dinner later on?
Mhm.
It wasn't until later, whenever we stopped having that, we recognized we didn't have that. But I've heard more recently people talk about food noise. I thought, oh my goodness, that was what was going on.
So
and we
you're
didn't know it.
You're saying we recognize the symptoms, like we knew that we had
We recognized that the food noise was gone before we even knew
what it was. to
knew
call
what it was, or that it had a name or a
That had
label.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
So
recognized,
okay.
wow. Well, we called it food freedom. It's like, wow, we have food freedom.
Mhm.
We don't feel tied to that anymore. And then in the last, I don't know, couple years, I've heard that term more, food noise. I thought, that's what we have the freedom from.
Mhm.
All that food noise and the hold that food had on us, where it was consuming our every
Calling us
thought.
and this
Wow.
yeah. The sad thing is, I mean, too, think about how even when we do realize it's the food, sometimes we just think it's because we're eating junk food. And so we start eating whole or clean.
Clean,
That's what
yes.
we used to do. We ate
I hear that a lot.
clean. Well, when I was eating clean and we were going to the farm to buy our milk, and I was stocking my freezer with the healthy, free range. I use all these, I mean,
Beef.
we use all these words, and that's why I use quotes constantly. Clean, free range, all these things that we thought were going to set us free, yet we were still in bondage because the foods, like with dairy, you and I, we've talked about this with you before, but that protein that God put in there, well, it's there for a reason. It's a beautiful protein in dairy. Why is it there? It helps the calf come back to the cow. It draws it
Draws the
back
calf back.
to become a full-grown cow. So what would happen then? What if we ask ourselves the question, what would happen if I no longer was eating those foods? How might that affect my life if I was freed
Yes.
from that food noise that wasn't my fault internally? It was because the foods by nature set me up to be drawn back because it hits the receptors in our brain that cause us to crave those foods and want to go back to them again and again. And that's why we love this bundle.
And the food
Absolutely love
industries
it.
know
Yeah.
that. They know that.
They do.
Oh, sure.
They
So-
do.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yes. And we want to hear about what's in the bundle that you put in there too, because I think you put some gold inside as well.
I did. Yeah. I've got a class in there called Sweet Relief Cutting Back on Inflammatory Sugars. And in that class, first of all, I explain why sugars, not natural sugars, right? There's a difference between natural sugars that are in sweet potatoes and dates and fruit and added sugars, like, even maple syrup, date syrup, coconut sugar, all of those are considered added sugars. They're not found in a plant. So the class talks about the difference in those. And did you know that our body, the human body, does not differentiate that? Well, if we eat a natural sugar or an added sugar, it all ends up as monosaccharides. And the class explains that. However, that does not mean an apple and a processed cupcake are the same nutritionally. They are not.
Right.
But the body does process that initial sugar the same. But then with the plant foods, we're getting fiber and water and all the things that make us
Yes.
digest that sugar differently. So it talks about that. And then many experts say it's not always the type of sugar, it's the amount of sugar that we're eating. So Americans right now are eating 60 pounds of sugar per year.
Shocking.
So
isn't it?
imagine
I honestly
that's
would have
5
expected
pounds.
more.
It's so,
Really?
it's
I
so
mean,
bad.
I mean, when you look at all the processed foods,
Mhm.
I probably would have guessed
Yeah.
100 or more per year.
Mhm.
Wow.
lot.
Yeah. It's like 5 pounds of sugar a month, though, when you think about that, on your counter, 5
That
pounds
is
of
a
sugar the
lot,
first of
yeah.
every month.
5
But
1-pound
sugary
bags,
drinks,
yes.
And then,
sugary drink.
yes.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about what you were sharing, Cyd, and the fact that it shouldn't surprise us as believers, though, right? When we look at the foods that our bodies do well on, when it comes to, let's look at just sugar, just one thing. Our bodies thrive when we get the whole package. So you
Yeah.
think about how God packaged them that way naturally. So it's when do we
Yes.
have the problem? When we start
Mhm.
ripping out the one thing and then this thing,
It's
and
kind
then
of like
that
when
thing.
we pull a scripture out of the paragraph and we take one little phrase and then make a big doctrine out of it instead of reading the whole paragraph, the whole book even, and
Yeah,
take
like
everything
Yeah.
together.
uh-huh.
It just means so much more. Well,
It's
same
huge.
thing with the
Right.
foods. You don't take it out of the
Yeah.
package.
Absolutely huge.
Exactly.
So important.
So sugar is made from there are two plants, which are the main sources of sugar. Do you know, can you guess what they are?
Sugar cane
word.
would be
Well, I figure
one, I
sugar
would think.
cane. Is it sugar
Yeah.
beets? Not another one.
Yeah,
Sugar
sugar,
beets.
very good.
Okay.
Yeah, sugar cane and sugar beets. So in the class, I talk about how that process works, but only very briefly because it's very convoluted, and even molasses is produced from that, and brown sugar and table sugar and powdered sugar, all that, how that's all processed. And then we talk about some label reading tips. It's important. The American Heart Association and the World Health Organization have limits on how much added sugar people should consume.
Right.
And they say babies under 2 should have no added sugar, but I see babies under 2 getting cake at their first birthday. I mean, a lot of babies are getting a lot
Sodas.
of added sugar,
Cereal.
sodas. Yeah,
I mean, you
cereal.
think about the early cereals. First, maybe Cheerios, but then a lot of
Yeah.
those, even the ones that aren't sweet, have a lot of sugar added.
They
Yeah.
do. But for adults, there's a suggested limit on how many teaspoons of added sugar we should have. And I'm not going to reveal that. You have to get the bundle to take the class to
Right.
know some of these things. But we are consuming way more than the recommended amounts. A caramel macchiato, a venti,
Yeah.
has 42 teaspoons of sugar.
Wow.
So that's
a nut
way,
something.
way over. That's like 5 or 6 times or more than we should consume in an entire day. So we
So
talk about
good.
that. And even the healthy sugars, how much is too much with date syrup and coconut sugar and date powder. I mean, there are healthy sugars, right? And that's what many of us tend to turn to when we want to sweeten something.
Yes.
But even with that, we have to be mindful that there is a suggested limit on that. So talk about that. Then I talk about some label reading tips. Like I'll show some products like this jar of natural jelly is 2/3 sugar. It's natural jelly, but it's 2/3 added sugar. So, I talk about how to spot that on a label. And then I also talk about artificial sweeteners, because are those a better alternative to sugar? And the answer is definitely no, they are not. I mean, they are intensely sweet and they have no calories. They're
Right.
200 to 700 times sweeter than table sugar, but they are very detrimental to our health. And they
Yes.
actually lead us to crave more sugar. So
That makes me think
Yes.
about all the diet sodas and things that people drink in the name
Yeah.
of losing weight or being healthy. And
yeah,
it's
no, it's bad. And
eye-opening.
it is. So I show like a sugar-free salad dressing, and let's
So
look at what
good.
they've put in there, like how to recognize that. And then lastly, I've got a cooking demo in there for 3 naturally sweetened things. One is date sweetened berry jam that we use on our English muffins. One is a chocolate frosting dip, which, is sweetened with dates, and it's
Nice.
really good with apple slices or strawberries. And the third one is an orange dreamsicle delight, like a smoothie that is so thick and creamy, like orange sherbet.
Love that.
And that's 4 ingredients, no, all fruit and plant milk. Very good recipes there if you want your sweet tooth satisfied. So the goal of the class, though, is to get people to be aware of how much sugar they're consuming.
Yes.
So
I love
by
it.
just paying attention for a couple days and remembering to include the added sugar that you're getting in your products that you're
Yes.
purchasing, 4 grams of sugar is a teaspoon. So if you're looking at something that has 8 grams of sugar per serving, 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that's 2 teaspoons of sugar. So just an
Wow.
awareness factor of how much sugar. And are you putting something in your morning beverage or in your oatmeal? Are you making sauces with maple syrup and salad dressings with date syrup and making banana muffins with cane sugar? It all adds up. Believe
Yes.
me, I know. I've done some experiments on myself.
Yes.
And it adds up.
I love
So
how you added the recipes so that you can have, and this is why we did what we did for one of ours. It reminds me of why we did what we did, because you're giving what we love to call a taste and see experience. So you could hear all day long, don't eat this. And you need to know the why. That's why what you're doing is so valuable, Cyd. I mean, opening our eyes to what it is that is actually not healthy, what is the healthier version. Because we've had so many women come up to us and say, the reason my husband isn't healthy is because he won't quit eating sweets or desserts. No, he needs an upgraded version. That's what we love doing.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to show you how to
Mhm.
upgrade that so that you can make it taste amazing. So what you've done there is you've
Yeah.
given all those who are listening and decide to go buy the bundle, which why you wouldn't, I don't know. It's such a no-brainer. It is less than $1 a piece. What can you get for $1 today? Think about that.
Especially
What
with
can
that level of impact
with
on your
this,
health.
yes. I mean, because we talk about,
Yeah.
we have a podcast coming up about cost. We were talking about that today. What is the cost? Poor person thinking is dollar for dollar, which plants still come out ahead. But
Mhm.
but wise next level thinking is what? What do you look at? The return on investment, ROI. You don't think about that except with your finances, but you should think about that when it comes to your health. What is the return on my investment? The investment is what you're putting in your mouth that's on your fork. What is the return on the investment, right?
And the investment may not even be dollar amounts. It's actually going through the motion and making the substitutions. Because in the beginning, it may not, you may feel like it doesn't satisfy or feels different, but once you do it, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to love the way that it tastes, and you will still be able to enjoy your sweet things,
Yes.
just in a much better way.
Absolutely.
So we
Yeah.
had that same idea with our bundle submission. The one thing that we did was first we created a Taste See Cookbook, and it's not available anywhere else. What we wanted people to see was get that experience of, think about what it's like. Do you know what it's like when you go into Costco or Sam's? Have you ever been to one of those places where you start smelling things and you walk by this table and this person jumps out and grabs you and says,
Yeah.
hey, try this, try this.
Mhm.
And what
Yeah.
happens? You try it and you're going, this is really good. And then it goes in your cart. Well, that's the experience we think it is so important to have with whole food plant-based eating and vegan eating and oil-free eating, which by the way, all of these recipes included in this bundle are oil-free, which lights us up because we know that was one of the big things for me too, getting rid of my pain,
Inflammation.
getting the pain and inflammation gone. So having these things that help you to clear out the pain and inflammation. So we wanted to give a taste and see experience. So we pulled in some recipes from our current cookbooks, but then there's this recipe, one of the recipes that we've shared in here, the sweet and sour Asian sauce is such a game changer. You can put it together in minutes. And I had my son, who's a teenager, he loves creating plant-based. They've been doing it for several years with us now, but we just are big on teaching, how do you do this in the way that's simple and it tastes good? It's not going to stick otherwise. And so if it can be quick too and really fast. So he gets in there and he just makes it so quick and so fast. So we kind of pulled our thinking together and pulled that recipe together. And it's a no-brainer for stir fries, dumplings, things like that. Very quick, very simple. So we pulled that one in there, but we did things like, for me, dairy. We talked about how I was the dairy queen. I was so addicted. So what do I need so that I'm no longer addicted to dairy? Well, I can't just think rabbit food. How am I going to still have the creamy, cheesy things if I like cheese? So if I like lasagna, where's my ricotta? And if all those things. So we put in here our date night fettuccine Alfredo, which is one of our favorites. We
People
love
love that one
Oh,
too.
they freak out. It's so good because when you can get something, a blender recipe that's done in no time, it blows your mind. And now you have that cheesy thing. So I don't miss Olive Garden or Maggiano's or the fancy Italian restaurants we used to eat at. No more.
Mhm.
So if you set yourself up where you don't miss these things, we call it finding your new favorites. We're constantly talking about that. You need to find that growing list of favorites. And so this is interactive. We made it interactive where you can see us cook and get a sampling of what is it like to have these kind of recipes that are quick, simple, and delicious. But you can watch close up. It's not us like far off cooking where you're kind of like, what's she doing in the bowl? We did a close up view of how do we cook these things. And so it's the brownie
It's a
batter.
chef's eye view.
Yes, right. Chef's eye view.
Okay, so it's a video and a recipe book?
Videos
Oh,
and
okay.
recipes together.
Okay.
So we have things like our brownie batter hummus because all the women need to understand, like you're saying, it's not just sweet things. It's in its whole package, that kind of thing. So we
And
have
it's more brownie batter, less hummus. It's only hummus because of the ingredients, but when you think brownie batter hummus, don't think hummus like you'd put on
Right.
bread or something.
Although we have
It's-
that
Yeah.
recipe in here too.
It's
We have both.
delicious. It's amazing.
But you gotta have the chocolatey things and the sweeter things too. Sometimes, but we're talking about that today. You can have them though, but a sensible person even dates. They're not going to have just desserts on their plate for a meal. That's not sensible. That doesn't make sense. So we want to use the higher level thinking and enjoy the things. So we set ourselves up to enjoy the ones that have, like you're saying, the whole plant foods. So brownie batter hummus, regular hummus. We have creamy tomato soup, which I had to have because it was one of my favorites
She grew up
growing
on
up.
tomato soup and loved it.
Made with cream or
That's
heavy
always been a
milk, right?
favorite for her.
Yes, absolutely.
I got rid of that dairy, which is really good, and I don't
miss
miss it.
At all.
So Chick-no-Way nuggets, you can imagine what those taste like. So good. They will fool somebody who's a non-vegan. It's absolutely wonderful. Happy burgers. We love those. You have to have a good burger replacement. So we included that. Thousand Island dressing. My mom was the queen of making Thousand Island dressing. And so I needed that replacement. So that's in there. Walnut taco meat. This is one that's been really hot in our membership lately because one of our members just tried it for the first time and he's been freaking out over all the different ways he can use the walnut taco meat and just really loves that substitute.
This is how we can take things that we already like and then make a plant-based version of it. So now you're not missing out. You're not saying, I can never have tacos again.
Right.
Now you're having tacos in an upgraded way that aligns with your health goals.
So there's no dreaming of cheat days when you set yourself up like that. So that's
awesome.
That's the first contribution to the bundle that we did, the Taste and See Interactive Cookbook. And then the other thing that we included, and why we included it, is the cholesterol code. And this is our cholesterol course, and it's basically 5 things that you can do that you can lower your cholesterol. Just wrap your mind around it. I slow down because it blows my mind every time I think about us talking about this and how many years we spent not getting to the root cause of issues. These foods do that. These foods that naturally get to the root cause. So we tell you 5 different things that you can do easily on a regular basis that will lower your cholesterol just as good as the top medication. Just as well.
Are they 5 food things?
5
or is it
different
5
different things, and they're all food related. Yes, all food related. Very simple things, but you just don't know because no one's telling you. So what
And your doctor's not telling you because nobody told them.
Right. Oh, yeah. And it's not.
We're not learning this stuff. One of them is as strong at lowering cholesterol as the top statin drugs and can do so very quickly.
Think about that for a minute. What would it mean to you if you could lower your cholesterol just as much or more as the leading statin drug without the side effects?
Is that something they would eat daily or?
Yes, you can easily sprinkle it on things. It's a half teaspoon. That's how simple it is. A half teaspoon.
Really? Okay.
Yes. As much or better than the top medication without any, this is the huge part of the side effects. Except for they do have side effects, but we don't call them side effects. We call them benefits. Because they're not negative. So they come with benefits. Not just cholesterol lowering, but additional benefit.
Food item, and these are all research backed. The research shows that it can do it in 3 weeks. We're not talking about 3 months or 3 years. We're talking very quickly. It can have that much of a positive impact.
And we see it on the regular, people coming off their medications, not out from under their doctor's supervision, but you need to be monitored when you're eating these foods. Why? Because they can quickly lower you back to normal or healthy, and you can come off the medications under your doctor's supervision. And they need to watch because think about this. If you start eating a lot of these, and let's say you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, let's use blood pressure for an example, or like if you had diabetes and your blood sugar started to come down very quickly, then you could potentially, your current level of your med could be too high that it would lower things too low. So they need to adjust down until they're able to wean you off of it. So this is what we see on a regular basis happening. Please
don't not do it.
Stop
Just make
your
sure
own
you
medication.
do it
Yes,
under
don't
your
do that.
doctor's supervision.
But it's so very important. And so this is very interesting, Cyd, because after over 380 episodes of the Power on Plants podcast now, when I look back at the stats, the number one played, I think, and the number two played and downloaded episodes are cholesterol.
Cholesterol.
Okay.
So we want to
interesting.
know how to get our cholesterol down. Well, what if you could do that in a way
Right.
that's
And do it
natural and enjoyable?
Yes, naturally.
And enjoyable with none of
Yeah.
the side effects. And so that's why we chose these two things, because to me, if you can taste
Mhm.
and see, just like what you put in yours, it's genius. If you can just get a taste of what these foods can do and how great they can be and how simple it is. And then you can get things like your cholesterol down, your blood pressure back to normal. What would it mean to you? What would your life look like if your diabetes
Mhm.
was gone, type 2 diabetes reversed?
Able
What
to
if you're
come off
autoimmune?
medications.
Your autoimmune,
Yeah.
your IBS, your Crohn's. We've had patients reverse these, our clients. Other things, migraines, acne, adult acne,
Chronic back pain, chronic knee pain.
arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, just so we could go on and on. Reflux. Somebody was on for Nexium for 14 years. 14 years is off of it. No longer has
Reflex
it.
gone.
Rheumatoid markers
Wow.
gone. So many different things.
And that's why we're
It's
so
incredible.
passionate about all this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
changed our lives, and we see it change people's lives daily. And,
And
so,
it's not
Yeah.
hard. That's the thing. We've got it in our minds that it's hard. It's going to taste nasty. No.
but when you
It
have
doesn't.
the problem that we see consistently is people try to do this, but they're taking man-made ways that are difficult and they're applying it to this way of eating. So they're bringing in dieting mentality and other mindsets that they have not changed yet. And so we've developed a system where that we walk people through, so that, because we have a lot of people come to us that tried it and they call it falling off the wagon. That's what we've fallen off the wagon. We hear it so many times. And then they come in and it sticks because we have a system that we know when we plug you into it, it's 5 steps. And if you'll just do the system and develop these habits, then you're freed from the foods. And all of a sudden you love life because you've learned how to get your mindset right, get your environment right, people, places, and things, and make things delicious and quick and simple. And that's it. And once you know how to do
Cool.
that,
Very
you're
good.
set up for
Yes.
gold.
It
So
just becomes what you do. It becomes
Yes.
your natural daily habit.
the foods are
Mhm.
life-changing. They're life-changing. And we shouldn't be surprised, right? Cyd wrote a whole book about it.
Yeah,
Get her
shouldn't be
book.
surprised.
Get her book.
Yeah.
If you have not read her book, I'm plugging you, Cyd.
Plan A diet.
Get her book. It is
Mhm.
life-changing because you're going to see the scripture behind it. You're going to see, and Jared and I always say, when you have the place where scripture meets the solid scientific research, and he has a cellular and molecular biology
Yeah,
degree
molecular
on top
background.
of his degree as a physician assistant. So when you have the biblical backing and you have the scientific research, and those two things meet, out drops the gold. Out drop whole plant.
Mhm. Absolutely.
So yeah,
I like to tell people too, it's not hard. Don't think it's hard. Just think it's different.
It's
But once
different.
you learn it and it's second nature, you will not regret it and you will not want to go back.
Cyd, that is so good.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And you don't
It's
even have to
just
think about
different.
it. You just do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
So good. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much
Oh,
for
you're
sharing
welcome.
that. So your contributions to the bundle are the Taste and See
Yes.
Cookbook, which is video and a cookbook recipe cookbook, and then also the cholesterol code.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 things you can do to lower your cholesterol, one of which is a half teaspoon of something that will lower your cholesterol as well as the top leading drug in about 3 weeks.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
if you
So,
add the 4
wow.
other, what happens if we call it strategy stacking.
Strategy
Jared and
stacking.
I are big into strategy stacking. So with cholesterol, you have these 5 strategies we've shared. So what if you just did the one thing and you got the results of that med? But what if you added the 4 other things? Now what do you have?
Oh,
What kind and then
Very
you walk
good.
it out. What does that look like in your life over time? We always tell people we
Mhm.
stack simple habits. We stack the habits that make it delicious. We stack the habits that make it quick. So with cholesterol, we stack 5 simple things and your life can start looking really different very quickly.
Mhm. Yeah, so you can get these products, my class, Anita and Jared's 2 awesome classes, as well as, well, there's over 70 total.
they're so
as well as
good.
70 total
Yes.
products in this bundle, the Vegan Health Bundle. Don't let the name throw you. You do not have to be a
Right.
committed vegan at this point to get the bundle. You'll still benefit no matter where you are in your journey. And it's only available through February 22nd at 11:59 Pacific time, so like midnight Pacific time. So if you're thinking about getting the bundle, don't put it off, because if you forget, and days go by, and once it's gone, it's gone. So
Yes.
you will not be able to get it. So it's only $49 to get over $4,600 worth of product. And I just put out a newsletter, which will release tomorrow, because I've had friends tell me I'm overwhelmed by the bundle. It's too much. I bought last year's. I'm overwhelmed. I thought, you know what? You're looking at it wrong. Don't look
Yes.
at it as a to-do list that you have to look at everything in the bundle. You have a whole year to download the bundle, and then it's
Yes.
yours forever.
But once it's gone,
So,
it's gone. And the other thing
yeah,
is, if you've bought it in previous years, I know you mentioned someone bought it before. Everything this year is new to the bundle.
different. Yeah,
Yes.
there's no repeats in any bundle that Chef AJ has done. No repeats at all.
And she's in
So look at
there.
it as,
Yes, Chef
oh yeah,
AJ's
she
in
has a
there.
couple cool things, very good
Yes, and
things.
then Raw Food Romance, Lissa and Nate are both in there. Raw, if you want to eat more raw and you think, I just couldn't eat more raw, you can. I just tried the
Yeah.
crackers. They're amazing.
Really?
Yes,
Okay, I'm going to try the
they're
crackers.
so good.
Even, yeah, the McDougall starch solution
Yes.
course is $147 if you were to go buy that. And it's included in this bundle. The whole
Yes.
bundle is $49.
Yes, it's a
So it's
no-brainer.
really worth it. Even if you found eight things, you'd be saving a lot of money.
100%. Just do it now. Do it
Yeah.
now. And then post and let us know down below the video what your favorite thing was. Share with each
Yeah.
other so that we know, and maybe we'll try that thing earlier than we would have to.
Yeah.
Because it's never, ever, you've never been on this journey so long that you want to stop adding to your favorites list because you think you won't
Right.
forget, but you do. And when you share with others, they're going to share with you, and then you'll have even more and more things. The average person, on average, most people have 9 things they eat on repeat. And you're afraid whole plant foods are going to be boring. You will have more
Mm.
options than you
Yeah.
ever had before.
Ever. Ever did. Yeah.
It will
Yes.
blow your mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, click the link that's associated with this video to look at the bundle closer and to sign up for it before that deadline that we mentioned.
Yes,
So thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yes, thank
Cyd.
you.
We enjoyed it as always.
Yeah. Good luck with the bundle, and everyone, don't forget to go to Anita and Jared's website as well. Poweronplants.com.
PowerOnPlants.com. Yes.
Okay. Look for them there. But mostly get the bundle to get those 2 courses they just described. I cannot wait to do both of those. I signed up for one today, and I'm going to get that Taste See Cookbook as well.
Yay. Thank you so
Thank you.
much,
All right.
Cyd.
All right. Take care now.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.